Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Yogesh Sarode of Jivan Vikas Mahavidyalaya Devgram. I heartily welcome you all in this course of effective communication skills in English. Friends, nowadays we find that most of the students fear to speak in English. It is not because they fear, but the fear is because of the lack of confidence. Because they have not made practice of speaking, it happens so. Now, how we can nullify it? How we can minimize that fear? There are many ways. Unless we break an egg and put on the pan, we cannot make omelette. Unless we move our hands in river, we cannot swim because it's a skill. Skill is to be acquired, just like a regular brushing of teeth. It becomes a regular habit, and in the course of time, we become fluent. Same is the case with conversation, whatever language that may be. If we are talking about English, we have to acquire the skills in English. Now, in this video, I have focused mainly on important issues that are related to communication. So, many a times it also happens because students do not speak in English. They do not remember proper words at right time, or there is a scarcity of words while speaking. Many times they do not remember the exact syntax, or they lack in grammar, and because of all these there is always a constant fear in their mind that whether to speak in English with others. If I make mistake, what will happen? So friends, nothing to worry about that. This video is an introduction containing a few parts related to communication, in which I will focus on how we can improve our effective communication. So the objective of this video is to understand communication and the communication process. Second, it will tell you the importance of communication. At the same time, I have cited the points that acts as a barrier in communication process. And at the same time, we have to practice of active listening. We will see what is the difference between listening and hearing also. So, with these objective, I will go forward. Now, if we see communication, in a simple word, communication means conveying of message from one person to another. But if we see literary definition of communication, it is the art of transmitting information, ideas, and attitude from one person to another. Communication is the process of meaningful interaction among human beings. Okay, it is a personal process. It occurs between people, between at least two people. While communication, the change in behavior is also expected. It's natural, because then only we will see it is a living. And at the same time, it influences others also. Now, we make communication, but why? Why there is a need of communication? What happens because of communication? So it is very clear. We express our thoughts, feelings, emotions to others, but at the same time, when we converse with others, the second person also understand the meaning what we want to convey. When he understand the meaning, he try to respond. So because of communication, two activities happen. One, first person try to communicate with others, he transfer his message to second person. At the same time, second person try to understand the first person and accordingly respond to him, respond to his answer, respond to his questions. So, is communication important? Now, there are certain ways by which we communicate. Mainly are through spoken words, through visual images. Many times we communicate through body language also, and sometimes through writing also. So, spoken words, we can say speech, visual images like display, body language, our gesture posture, and writing format. All these are the ways through which we can communicate. If we take or if we see total communication process as 100%, the major portion goes to listening and speaking. These listening, speaking, reading, and writing are the four pillars of acquiring skills in English. These are the skills of language. One point I would like to trace here: English is a skill subject. It is not just an information subject. Just like history, geography, these are all information giving subjects. Information in history, we get information regarding various sports, then literary events. In geography, we know how the land lies. In mathematics, we make calculation. But in any language, in English also, we have to acquire skills. Unless we acquire that skill, we do not get fluency of speaking also. Now, as far as skills are concerned, skills can be acquired by practice, regular practice. Just like if we brush every day, in the course of time that becomes our habit and we become fluent in brushing. So, brushing has become our practice, and in the course of time we acquire the skill of that brushing. It becomes very easy. Just like we can swim. Unless you move your hands smoothly and fastly in water, you will not swim. Mere taking out your clothes and jumping in the river will not let you know how to swim. Otherwise, you will drown. Unless you break an egg on a hot pan, it will not give an omelette. In the same way, unless you make the mouth for speaking in English, you will not be able to speak. So, you have to acquire the skills. Once you acquire skills, you will be able to converse. Your confidence will increase. Now, what are the ways? So, it is found that 45% communication process happens through listening. Whatever speech or lecture that falls on your ear and you listen it carefully. I will point out the difference between listening and hearing also. Listening is important in effective communication process. When you hear and accordingly try to imitate, then we make practice, we make communication, and we can easily establish the rapport with others. Then second point is of speaking. 30% communication takes place through speaking. So listening and speaking covers 75% process of communication. This is very important. Now, see, reading and writing comes when you go to school. Many times it becomes a question of a debate that if I do not go to school, can't I speak English? From the figures, it is clear that you will go to school and then you will learn reading and writing. Unless you do not go to school, you will not know how to read and write. But even if you do not go to school and do not know how to read and write, but at least you can speak and listen. Speaking and listening takes 75% process of communication. Only 25% communication happens through reading and writing. Reading takes 16% and writing takes 9%. So my request to you all, dear friends, is try to make the habit of speaking and listening. Listen news, listen TV channels, listen good speeches in English, and try to speak it. Try to speak in front of others with your group friends. So in the course of time, you will acquire that process. Now, mainly there are two levels of communication, but third one is also there. But basically, there are two levels. One is verbal communication, and second is non-verbal communication. But most of the times, we find that the communication also takes place through third level also, that is symbolic type. So in verbal, the part of intonation, word and sound is there. Then in non-verbal communication, there are gesture, posture, movements also. And in symbols, uh, we show various types of symbols and that communicate message. Now, in verbal communication, we use words. Sometimes we use numbers. Sometimes we use symbols also. So all this delivers a message, and delivering message is nothing but a communication. In non-verbal communication, sometimes facial expressions play very important role. Your eye contact also acts as effective medium. Your body language, your gesture, your posture, all comes in non-verbal communication, which play important role in communication. So it is found that most of our communication is non-verbal, and this is what actually lacks in emails and tweet also. This actually happens in face-to-face communication, and that becomes more effective. Here you can see that most of the feelings or emotions are expressed from our face, like laughing, smiling. If there is a tension on you, the image also explains like that. So if your thumb gives message, so facial expression also important. Now, maintaining eye contact, that is also one important issue which helps while good communication. I already mentioned about gesture. Gesture conveys meaning. So, but one point is important here, that the gesture uh, in different culture gives different sense. Okay, so be careful while using gestures, because that is very meaningful, conveys a meaning effectively. Body language is also important. Many times we do not speak words, we do not say even a single word, but just your body plays important role and your meaning is conveyed, what you want to say. In this image, the president of United States, that is Bush, is just listening carefully in his own body language. So it gives the sense that he's attentively listening the speaker. Okay, means the speaker gets an idea that whatever message I am delivering, that is systematically followed by next person. So that is because of body language. Now, as far as the communication process is there, we can understand very well that in communication process there are at least two persons. One is the sender, to whom we call encoding, and second is a receiver. So one person sends a message and the next person receives the message, and then you find while sending and receiving the message, there is a medium. So medium also plays important role in conveying and accepting uh, that message. Now the quality of message that the receiver receives and the quality of message that a sender sends all depends upon the medium, the type of medium. If the medium is good, then a rapport or a communication, effective communication will take place. If medium is not good, there are barriers, there are obstacles while delivering a message, proper message will not be delivered. So we will see what are the barriers in effective communication, because unless we remove those barriers, your effective communication will not take place. So we will find in this that first barrier is noise. When unpleasant sound is there between the two person, your message will not be delivered properly. Secondly, inappropriate medium. Suppose you are in crowd and speaking there, your message will not be delivered properly. So, for effective communication, you must be at a such a position where there should not be any disturbances. Then there should not be assumption and misconception between the two. If both are determined, both are not properly tuned, communication will not take place. Fourth point, that is fourth barrier of communication, is emotion also. While communicating message, you must be emotionally balanced. Suppose you are not in a mood to hear, or suppose the sender is angry, then the exact message which he wants to deliver will not be delivered properly. Or otherwise, if delivered, the receiver will think that he was in something different tune which was not expected. Language difference also plays important role in conveying the message, in communicating the message. Suppose the speaker knows English, Marathi, Hindi, but the receiver is from Tamil Nadu, who does not know, for example, English also. He knows only Tamil. Then, even if you deliver your message systematically, slowly, in a good voice, that receiver will not understand what the sender is sending, what the message is delivered actually. So, for a proper communication process, both the sender and receiver know the language or the language of communication. Then only effective communication will take place. Otherwise, there will not be communication. Next point is poor listening skill. It is very simple and understandable that suppose the next person cannot hear properly, for example, dumb, then he will not be able to hear properly. So even if the message is delivered properly, but if it is not falling properly on his ears, he will not be able to understand. So listening skills is also important. And this distraction is actually I have already told you, distraction means disturbances of medium, various sound, mixing of sound, all comes under this category. So friends, if you overcome these barriers, because while communication, barriers or knowing barriers is important. Even if the speaker is excellent, very good, the listeners are also attentive. But if the medium in which that sender is delivering his message is not good, is not proper, proper message will not be delivered. So the barriers while delivering a message play important role. Now we'll see what is hearing and listening. Uh, See, actually, hearing is a process, physical process, natural, but basic point is it is a passive process. Whereas listening is also physical, mental process, but that is active process. If you want that effective communication should take place, there must be listening and not hearing, because while uh, receiving the message, if you are sleeping, you are hearing, but if you are sleeping, what is the meaning? But listening means carefully hearing. So there sleeping is not expected. So if you are not sleeping while hearing, you will hear properly, and effective communication will take place, avoiding all these barriers. So, the listening has got important status in communication. So always try to listen carefully instead of hearing. Uh, then, how we can improve our communication? There are few tips. Till now, we have seen a definition of communication, then ways of communication, why communication is important, levels of communication, then ways of communication, then barriers of communication. But now I have brought out certain tips of communication, how you can improve your communication effectively. So, first one is improve your language. That will not come in a day, that's a matter of practice. But focus on improve your language. Okay, improving your language. Then improving language means, of course, pronunciation, grammatical parts. Then you have to remember number of words, syntax, all comes in this category. But pronunciation comes by habit. Then your voice modulation is important. Mere steady voice, constant voice, without frequency voice, that will give you sleep. So while communication, there should be a variation in sound. It then only it becomes effective. Body language, no doubt, plays an important role in communication. In order to make your communication effective, try to read more as you can. Listen more, listen as you can. Listen TV channels, listen English news, listen stories carefully. Listen what you can in all possible ways. Uh, Apart from this, if you want to make your communication more effective, avoid unwanted literature. Now, you know what is unwanted literature. Then interact with those people who can inspire you. Not they will make a bad impact on you, negative impact on you. So be in the community of those people who will inspire you, who will tell you good things always. Interact with such people. Think and speak. It is always better to first think and then speak, not that speak first and then think over it. That will be reverse. Instead of repenting after speaking, better first think and then speak. Speak slow, okay, but not too fast also. And while communicating, use simple language. Wordsworth says, uh, the simple language or the language of rustic people is the real language, because in that language only the common people can only understand. If we use very ornamentary language, very decorative language, that will be easy, that will not be easy to digest. So digestion is important. If you cannot understand the language properly, what is the meaning of very that aristocratic language or a bureaucratic language or a very colloquial language? No, your message should be delivered properly. And last point is you should be presentable. You should be confident while speaking. So, friends, these are the steps which by which you can improve your communication. Now, I will focus on types of body language also. Remember, you are speaking with people, you are dealing with people. When you communicate your message, uh, another person is in front of you. Suppose you are going to deliver a lecture or going to deliver a speech, a mob or a thousands of people will be there. Now, while being in front of them, how you should pose yourself, how you should interact with them. So, your posture and gesture should be proper. How you use your hands while delivering a message, how is your stance, whether you fold your hands or move your hands, that becomes more effective. Your eye to eye contact should be there. You should focus among the people, not should see out of the people. That the mob is seeing to you, and you are seeing beyond the mob. That should not happen. Then orientation is important. How do you position yourself? Presentation is important. How you deliver your message effectively, slowly, very speedily, whether in proper voice, modulation is there, intonation is there, your attitude also plays important role. All comes under this body language. Then your look is also important when you want to establish effective communication. Looks, your appearance, your dress pattern, that also play important role. And at last, expression of emotions, that is the main point. While delivering a message, if uh, you are delivering a good thought, you must be happy. That happiness should reflect on your face. If you are delivering or are talking about something strange point, at that time, if you try to laugh, that will give another sense. So your expression must cope with the theme. That is important because body plays important role. Now we have seen the body language tips also. There are few others also. Keep appropriate distance, touch only when appropriate, take care of your appearance, maintain eye contact, and smile genuinely. That is important. Uh, Friends, one simple example of communication I would like to share with you here is that even if a person does not have much knowledge of English grammar, then also he can communicate. I have gone through such an example. The example is once a Maharashtrian boy goes to Tamil Nadu for a railway exam. He had just cleared 12th. He was not confident in English because there was a center of examination. The boy had just cleared his 12th. He came to me, said, "Sir, I'm going to Tamil Nadu. I don't know Tamil language. I don't know proper English. How I will establish the communication there?" I said, "Friend, don't worry. Even if you do not know much grammar, you can establish communication with those people. Just make use of always your body language, your gesture, posture, emotions, expression. Use minimum words. Use fewest words. Use digit words. That's all. Make hands free. You can very well communicate with them. I gave that person confidence. See the communication, how it happened. He said after returning, he went to Egmore station at Madras, and at the arrival there, the autowalas flood to customers. Where are you going like this? Where are you going? Come, come like this. See the communication. Autowala says, "We are going." Now, see here you will find there is not even a trace of grammar, not a single verb is used in this conversation. But even though conversation becomes more effective, Autowala says, "Where going?" Shaking hands, where asking, "Where going?" That boy says, "Egmore station, Egmore." See, only words remembering. Again, Autowala, "How many seats?" Asking with hands. Boy says, "Two." "How much?" "Kitta?" "Rupees 100. Fixed rate." Autowala says. Again, boy, "Oh, it's a too much." Autowala, "Oh, too much. 80." Again, boy, "No, no." Autowala, "You say." Passenger, 50. Autowala, "Okay, sit." Then auto begins, comes to their destination, and while getting down from the auto, that boy says, "Thank you, take your 50 rupees, thank you very much, thank you." And friends, say you can also communicate like this without knowing much grammar. What you need here is you have to remember few words, single words, make sentences without grammar, make sentence of verb just like go, come, sit. Make the practice of such words, make the use of body language, use your brain consciously. And if you can do this, if you make the practice with this, but at the same time you need confidence, you must face the situation confidently. Friends, if you do like this, I'm damn sure one day you will not only speak but can communicate effectively. And that will be the very happiest day in my life. Thank you so much. Friends, in this global and diverse workplace requires excellent communication skill. Even if you go to interview, even if you go to market or any office, whether government or private, you are judged on the basis of your communication, how fluently you speak with others. And hence, there the importance, more importance goes to your expression, and then degree comes. So friends, uh, it's my earnest request you to all dear students to make the practice of 2 3 months regularly, constantly. Just make your good friend uh, as a participant to help in this regard. He will be also benefited because of this practice, and by doing this you will be benefited throughout your life. So my best wishes are with you. I think I have enlightened you to move on this path of communication skills in English. Now for next 30 days I am going to post one dialogue, one conversation on different occasion, that you have to first listen carefully, watch it carefully, twice, thrice, and make the practice for 10 15 minutes regularly. If you do this, if you can do this, definitely you will speak fluent in English. In spite of these, if you have any query regarding communication, you can always contact me. You can always mail me also. So, friend, thank you. Good day.